good.
I'll call the meeting in order. Would you please stand for the opening prayer and pledge, please? Mr. Gopal.
Lord, we're meeting here tonight to conduct matters of business. Guide our hearts and our mind in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being the source of our guidance tonight. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. Mathis is absent. Krug is present. Tucker? Present. Gopal?
Here.
Kessler? Here. Reed?
Here.
Lorraine?
Present.
I think I got us all. We have 6 members present. In the absence of Supervisor Mathis, we need to appoint a temporary chair.
I'll move Clerk Krug.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Just a reminder that this meeting is recorded and televised, and you can view it starting, I believe, Thursday on Channel 191. Is there any changes, additions, or corrections to the agenda, please? Okay, hearing none, I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The next is the meeting minutes. Are there any additions, corrections to the meeting minutes for the July 1st meeting? Okay, hearing none, the meeting minutes will stand as presented. Expenditures, are there any questions regarding any of the invoices? And I need a motion is in order to approve the expenditures of $516,286.05.
So moved. Support.
Any questions?
Can you say that number again?
$516,286.05. Okay, Tom, I need a roll call, please.
Lorraine?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Mathis is absent. Krug?
Yes.
Kessler?
Yes.
Gopal?
Yes.
Tucker?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Jack up.
Okay, moving right along, we now are at the proposed street improvement special assessment for Silver Ridge subdivision, hearing on the creation of a special assessment district. We'll open it up for public comment, and you can comment on the creation of the special assessment district, proposed boundaries of the district, the necessity of the improvements, preliminary plans for improvement, and the estimated cost for improvement. Is there anyone that would like to address the board? If you would just come up to the mic there and we'll be all set.
We were in Florida when this whole street thing started, so I just got into it.
Could you pull the mic down to you? Thank
My
you.
name is Pat Martin. I live in Silver Ridge subdivision. It seems like this has gone from 6 to 9,000 to 14,000 to 14, almost 15,000, 20 if it's put out there for 10 years. And I was in North Shore Estates, and I talked to Chad Miller, who owns Miller Industries, and he said that the road commission was wanting to charge them $250,000 for their subdivision, North Shore Estates, and they had it done on their own for $110,000. And it has a 25-year guarantee, and he said they took 2 inches off of asphalt, put 2 inches on, 3 or more where it was needed, and they hired their own engineer, and the asphalt company that they used was Eastern Asphalt. And then Lake Shannon had theirs done. My niece lives over there last year for $4,500. Four Lakes, $4,600. And now we were told last week if we needed any curbs done, that would be extra. But if they haven't done the core inspection, how do they know that they come up with $1,300,000? I mean, they've listed things here, but there's no amounts, what it's gonna be. And I'm just wondering, why are we paying 3 times what? And sure, I know there's a difference in how many houses are in the subdivision, but according to Chad Miller, he said they came in at $250,000, the road commission, and they got it done for $110,000. And their roads and curbs and gutters I drove over there and they're just like ours. So I just wonder, I know that the one entrance is really bad and that needs some extra attention, but I just wonder, why are we paying triple? And then there's some people that, that's a lot of money if they're single and, $20,000 we're going to end up paying if you put it on a 10-year bond thing. Mm-hmm. So it just seems like we're just paying way through the nose more than anybody else, and I just wonder why.
Well, North Shore, some of your information is not accurate. The road commission wasn't saying they were going to charge them this. Their estimate was higher. And we ended up doing a permit project. They actually reduced the scope of work to reduce the cost. It wasn't the same improvement for less cost, it was less work. And same as the issue that was brought up about Four Lakes at the informational meeting last week, it's not an apples to apples comparison.
Right, but all I'm looking at is he said that it went from 250 to 110. I don't care how many houses are in there. That's just the job.
That went from, they took a lot out of the project to get that cost down. A lot of the drainage structure improvements that were originally proposed were removed, and I believe they took off less asphalt than what the road commission had initially
2 inches,
suggested.
he said, and they put
Right,
down
they ended
2.
up with 2. They ended up and they got no guarantee, and the expected life is not 25 years, it's 10 to 12.
Well, he told me 25, so
Well,
today.
I'm sorry, that's not the information we got from the engineer. But again, trying to compare this to other projects, it's based on an estimate from the road commission. Their estimates are based on what they see and what they see as far as unit costs in other projects. It's not a guarantee it'll be that amount. They're hoping it'll be less.
But how do we know what they see? I mean,
They're the engineers.
right, but they don't give us any breakdown in anything.
Well,
It's just,
we have copies of more detailed plans here if you want to.
oh, I'd love to see them.
Not designs, but lists of estimated quantities. That's been available since the notice went out. Anybody who wanted to ask for it could.
So you're saying that he told me today it was a 25-year guarantee and it's not a 25-year guarantee?
No.
Okay.
Now, will it hold up for 25 years? It's possible.
No.
But
I'm 75 or outlive me, that's for sure. Okay, I just...
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board pertaining to this? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. My name is Margaret O'Reilly. My husband and I own the home at 4072 Split Rail Lane, which is one of the first houses in the neighborhood. So even though I don't drive around much the neighborhood, I run around much the neighborhood. Please do this. I've been talking about, we've been in that house for 9 years, and I've been to several association meetings trying to get this passed, several votes. It's got to be done. It's going to increase the value of our homes, and I look forward to supporting this proposal, and I hope that the board will support our plea here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board? Yes, sir.
My name is Bob Bennett on Silverwood. I came home from the winter trip to Florida, first week in May. It was wet up here. I pulled into that subdivision and saw that main entrance. I said, something has to happen. There were holes 6 inches deep from side to side and probably 100 feet down the road. So I took it upon myself. I contacted Tom Broker. I had no help. I knocked on 89 doors, and we wound up here today. Thank you who voted for it. I don't know what would have happened had I not done this, but we're going to get new roads. And thank you for your vote.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Steve Nagy, and I live at 4036 Pine Ridge Court. As a previous gentleman and the lady ahead of me indicated, that the roads in Silver Ridge are horrible now, and we've all got a major investment in our homes, and the condition of the roadways, that the way they are right now, just continue to detract from the value of our homes. And if we are going to have a nice development and a nice place to live, we have to maintain our roads, because that is what the general public, when they come into the area, that's the first thing they see. And before they're through, they just think, you know, well, what's going on here that these people won't maintain their roads? And it's no different than each one of us individually with our homes, that we have to maintain our homes to keep up the appearance and investment that we have in them. We have an investment in these roads, and we still need to put money into them to maintain them. So I'm strongly in favor of this proposal as we move forward. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board?
I am Dave Westfall. I live at 16014 Silverwood Drive, and I think we're all in agreement that we want new roads. I'm troubled by one comment that was made by Mr. Hill of the Road Commission at their informational meeting. I understand they're going to be doing the engineering specifications. They're going to hand them out to, or they're actually going to publish it so the contractors will come in, get their hands on these specifications and give us quotes. The question I asked him, it says, do you give him the estimates also? And the answer was yes. And that troubles me, because the natural inclination of them is, oh, it's 1.3 million. Yeah, I can do it for that, when they could have possibly done it for $1 million. And that I wish the commission wouldn't tell them the money, what they're estimating the project at. I don't see a reason for them to do that. I guess that's the end of my comment. Can you stop them? Can you recommend they don't?
Any document is a public record, but that's the competitive bid process. Just because the road commission pegs it here, it doesn't mean they're going to rise to that. We've seen it go both ways at different times. Small projects, we've seen it go way over the engineer's estimates, which means they weren't paying attention to it then either. But if they want the work, they're going to bid what it costs them plus whatever profit margin they feel that they can get out of it. Because if they don't sharpen their pencil, the next guy is going to get it from under them. So I don't think the fact that the pre-bid engineering estimates are available, I don't think that hurts the bid process.
Is that a public document, like you said?
Anything that's produced by the township, the county, or anybody is a public document.
Okay. Well, I guess that's my comment.
Is there anyone else that would like to address the board? Okay, let's move along. Mr. Brooker, could you present resolution two?
Close the public hearing. Close the public hearing.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing, and we will proceed to resolution 2019-21. Mr. Broker, please.
Yes, Fenton Township Resolution number 2019-21. It determines that the petitions meet the statutory requirements, approves the preliminary plans and estimated costs, creates the Silver Ridge Street Improvement Special Assessment District, which includes all properties in the following plats: Silver Ridge number 1, Silver Ridge number 2, and Silver Ridge number 3. It directs the supervisor to create a special assessment roll and repeals any conflicting resolutions.
I'll move the resolution. Second.
Roll call, please.
Krug,
Yes?
Mathis is absent. Kessler,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
Motion carries, resolution is adopted.
Thank you. Next is the second quarter report from the fire department.
Just one other thing, just
Yep.
the next step in the process is we will advise the road commission that the district's been created. They will create an agreement, which will be brought back to the board, and once that's approved, they will start the design of the project.
Chief?
This is our second quarter report
Hold
for,
on just a second, Chief.
I'm sorry, this is the first time I've ever, I thought we were gonna get more information about we had a total cost on our roads, I thought that's what I came for. Like, they gave us about 14,000, and then they said, with a 10% margin, it could be less, won't be anymore, or something. I guess I'm really confused, I'm sorry. I
No.
apologize. I didn't understand.
It's based on estimates, so all the board has done now is created the district. So now the road commission will actually design the project, bid it out over the winter, and then they'll bring the low bid back to us. And if it's more than 10% above our current estimate, then we come back and say, okay, it went up more than 10%, do you still want to do this? If it's under 10%, it'll probably just move right on through.
Okay.
But if you want more,
It's settled, we're getting new roads.
No.
Just extra.
well,
No, nothing's locked in monetarily wise right now.
right, at this point, the district is created, which the project is now moving forward. So the next step that will involve residents will be after we have bids, and we're presenting a roll to confirm, to lock in the costs. But if you want more details on the preliminary cost, by all means, call, email, or stop in the office. I'll be happy to provide what we have.
Okay, I guess I'm good, I didn't understand, I appreciate, I'm sorry to interrupt you, I thought.
No, you're fine.
Thank you, so now we'll just wait to hear, and then we'll get new roads, hopefully.
we have the second quarter report for Fenton and Tyrone Township. Altogether, we've had 180 alarms, 13 fires, 107 EMS calls, 5 serious hazardous conditions, 8 service calls, 38 good intent calls, and 9 false alarms. And of those 180, we had 13 of them in Tyrone Township. So we had 1 fire, 7 EMS calls, 1 hazardous condition, and 4 good intent calls for the second quarter.
Chief, being halfway through the year, how are we compared to last year?
We're down about 85 calls.
So our budget is
Very good.
very good. Excellent. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for the chief? Anyone out there have a question for the chief? If not,
One other thing.
Yeah.
I got probably 4 or 5 calls on our sirens. The one at Station 1 had to be rebuilt. I think it's still waiting for parts. And then I was also told that the one at Station 2 didn't work properly. So West Shore will be coming out this week to look at them and make for sure they're up and running.
okay.
So, and we need to have our residents understand they're not for you to be sitting in your house and hear the alarm go or hear the siren go off. Those are for when you're outside. Inside, it should be by TV, weather radio, or your cell phone.
Okay,
So if they say they can't hear it in their house, they're not designed to hear in your house, other than the people that live close to them. So we're going to get on that and get that fixed.
we had this talk.
I would say yes.
Chief, I know Channel 12 once in a while has weather radio specials. Okay, do we partake in that, or?
Truthfully, I don't know how they do them, because they just finished up in Davison. I think they did it over at Myers.
Or something, and they, and there's always lines for people that want them, and then they have people that help to program them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are kind of set it and forget it type of things once it's plugged in. With that.
One thing we can check out is the grant process, see how they're writing grants to get these
I'm
things.
just curious. I mean, more for seniors than anything. I mean, obviously, again, if I'm outside, I'm not going to rely on a siren to tell me something's coming.
Right.
But I think these, you know, they're battery backup. You know, they're just plug them in, and anytime there's an alert, they go off automatically. So, I mean, can we look at something like that? Just, you know, I'm not saying stack them like we did the smoke detectors. I'm just saying maybe information, where to get them, where, you know.
I can get with the contacts at Channel 12 and figure out how they do it.
Could you?
Or if they have a lead for it or whatever. So.
I mean, I know we're kind of out of this, the heavy season is normally what? April is when it starts?
Well, you have the summertime where the heat buildup, so you have the rapid thunderstorms that come through. Okay. So,
and heat wave coming up, right? Do they alert for those?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just something to maybe look into.
But until then, they can, if they have smartphones, they can put those apps on their phones for the time being. But we can look into seeing what their process is of getting them.
I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
You guys have a good night.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay, there are no communications tonight. The next is adoption of ordinance rezoning of parcel R 19-02 Loretta Vaughn. And this was introduced for the board's consideration, is a proposed zoning ordinance amendment to rezone part of the property at 14214 Eastview Drive from RMH to R5. Mr. Tucker, any input from the Planning Commission, sir?
Well, I would love to give it to you, but I was not able to make the meeting last Thursday due to court circumstances the next day. But what I can tell you is this: I did review the package before it was submitted. Mike Deem recommended approval to the Planning Commission, and that recommendation is based on the fact that the proposed rezone from mobile home to R5 is consistent with the master plan. Okay, it's medium density residential out there. You know my mantra on these things is, or isn't it consistent with the master deed? This clearly is. It's basically shaving 1/3 of an acre off from the northwest corner of the mobile home park for the single family home that's there. So in effect, we can tell the residents down that way we have shrunk the mobile home park. If we want to enhance the view on this, but from a planning standpoint, it's consistent with the master opinion. I don't know what the vote was. I would be surprised if it was anything but a unanimous recommendation for approval.
And Attorney Denise Fish is here for the petition.
And she was spectacular on Thursday night. So they tell me.
But you weren't here.
But they tell me, Denise.
Rumors ahead of you.
Rumors.
Any comments, please?
Just briefly, and some of you have already heard this because you've been at prior meetings, we're simply asking to have zoned so it fits the facts. We're not asking for any new construction. It won't increase the usage of the lake. It won't change anything except make that home an R5, which in fact is what it's been for a number of years.
They did get a variance from the ZBA for less than 100 feet, but it's still way bigger than most of the lots that are over in that neighborhood. So I have no concerns with it at all.
Is this not the house that the
Previous
manager used to function out of for the park
Think so.
before it was?
Yes, it was actually the owner and
Yeah.
then the manager. So it went through both the ZBA and the Planning Commission. So
Yeah.
they got their variance from the ZBA, and I know that it was unanimous at the ZBA level.
That makes sense. The whole thing makes sense.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Okay. Well, if there's no more comments or questions, This proposal be brought back to the August 5th meeting for a second reading, and we will take action.
It's where we do our voting, Denise, I assume you know that, but.
It would also be 7:30.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't worry too much about it if I were you, but it's up to you and your client.
There is no unfinished business. New business is the proposed new lake improvement special assessment district for Lake Fenton. Mr. Broker, please.
Yes, the previous lake improvement special assessment for Lake Fenton expired after last year's tax roll. The association has submitted a new 5-year proposal to continue the program for another 5 years, which will require creation of a new special assessment district. So we have a resolution in the packet that will initiate the special assessment process and schedule a public hearing on the creation of the new district at our next meeting. We also have a couple of board members who are in the district, so I think we need to kind of do some housekeeping before we get to the resolution.
Yeah, I would ask that I would abstain, be able to abstain, recuse myself from voting, since I am a resident of Lake Fenton.
I would make the same request.
Okay, in order to accomplish this, we need to have a motion.
I'll move Vince
Each
Lorraine be,
one, they have to be separate.
I'll move Vince Lorraine be excused from voting.
Second.
Roll call, Tom.
Reed,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
Krug.
He does it every time.
Yes.
He's consistent, you gotta give him that.
And Mathis is
I'm
absent.
consistent.
I could just tell by the look.
Motion carries.
Need a motion for Ms. Reed, please.
I move Trustee Reed be excused from voting.
Second.
Mathis is absent. Kessler,
Yes.
Krug,
Why, of course.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
Just when you think Bob is pigeonholed.
Gotta count your votes.
And so the record's clear, that would permit those individuals to abstain from all votes relative to that.
So we don't have to do it at
Special-
every meeting, we don't have to do it?
I don't think you do. I mean, you've done it, and just so everybody's clear that that can,
So Bonnie
can
would,
and should pertain.
the supervisor will have to do it at the next meeting.
Yeah.
She's here, yeah.
And what it
Okay.
means is there's only 4 of us that are gonna be able to vote on this, and
Right.
so we gotta have all 4?
Well, I think
Or
it's
is it 3
just
of
a
the 4?
majority of those
Majority of those
present and
present,
voting.
President.
Yeah.
Present and
Present
voting.
Yeah, I don't think you need a majority of the board.
So you
So
could
like
have,
he
I
would do
really
3
wouldn't
of
worry too much about it,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
well, except for Bob. So,
I'm not worried. Can you read Resolution 2018-22, Mr. Broker?
yes, Resolution 2019-22 acknowledges that the board is determined to proceed with the creation of a new special assessment district under Public Act 188 of 1954 as amended, acknowledges receipt of estimated costs for the project, tentatively declares the board's intent to continue the lake improvement project, tentatively determines the boundaries of the district to include all properties with frontage on or riparian access to Lake Fenton, schedules a public hearing on the creation of the district at the August 5th meeting, instructs the clerk to mail and publish the hearing notice in accordance with the statute provided, and rescinds any conflicting resolutions.
so moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Of course, lightning.
Gopel.
Yes.
Tucker.
Yes.
Lorraine.
He's abstaining.
Oh, sorry. I knew that. Mathis is absent. Krug.
Yes.
Kessler.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolutions adopted.
Thank you. The next is any board comments tonight.
It's not a 14-minute meeting, Bob, but if you hurry, it can be under half an hour.
Okay, hearing none. Any public comment tonight, sir?
Steve, you're the only one.
If not, I'll adjourn the meeting at
59.
7:59.
59.
Thank you.
Still over twice as
You
long.
kept
Over
asking.
twice as long.